table for two, really. We're about half an hour. 8 o'clock. Yeah, that'll be fine. Right, thanks very much. Goodbye. 8 o'clock, darling, all right? Darling?
Shh. What are you doing? Peter and Nora are having the most terrible row.
Well, honestly, darling.
She's calling him things I've never even heard of.
Hey, come away from me.
Haven't heard what it's about yet.
Look, will you come? You wouldn't like... Mind your head. You wouldn't like them to listen to one of our rows, would you?
What do you mean we don't have rows?
Oh, no, not many. We're just a couple of nice, tolerant, kind-natured freaks, aren't we?
Darling, we haven't had a row for ages.
Haven't we?
2 weeks easily.
Good Lord.
Not since you criticised my mother's hats.
You must be getting old.
No, we're just over the hump, that's all.
The hump?
Yes, that's what Mum called it.
You've been sneaking to your mother, have you?
No, darling.
Telling her I beat you up before breakfast, I know. I thought you were a bit cool on the phone the other day.
Darling, don't be silly. I didn't even tell her you hated her hats. I was just asked her if she and Dad ever quarrelled in the early days, and she said yes, of course. They never stopped till they got over the hump.
What do you mean, the first 3 or 4 months?
No, it varies. They were climbing their hump for 2.5 years.
Oh, blimey. I don't think I'd have the strength.
No, well, it was mainly my fault. They'd only been married 3 months, and Mum went to the doctor, and Dad's worst fears were realised.
Really? But I sincerely hope you don't take after your mum.
Darling, mind the needle!
Oh, sorry.
What made you suggest it?
What?
Eating out tonight.
Oh, little celebration.
What celebration?
No rows for 2 weeks?
You had noticed.
Of course I had, darling. Kate! Kate!
She threw the sauce boat at him.
Look, will you come away from there? Honestly.
Mind your head.
Good Lord! What? She's calling him things he'd never heard of.
Wish we could do something.
Well, don't you know what it is? I mean, other people's rows always sound much worse than one's own.
I never, it seems so awful, us going out for a cosy dinner and their matted hammer and tongs. Poor old Nora.
Poor old Nora, who got the sauce boat?
Well, that's what I mean. We don't want to murder in the house, do we?
Darling, I can assure you that'll never happen. You see, women are most dreadful throwers, you see. It comes from only bowling underarm at school. It's too much of that, and it's not enough of the old.
Darling, that was a wedding present.
Sorry, mate.
Couldn't we ask them round for a drink?
What do you mean, sort of lemon at half-time?
Darling, don't be so heartless. When we used to have our rides, there were lots of times when I'd run out of insults, and I was dying for the phone to ring or someone to bang on the door.
Oh, it's all right. I think they stopped. They probably kissed and made up.
Yes, it might have looked a bit obvious, mightn't it, asking them round? I mean, it might have looked as if we'd heard them.
Darn, I should hope they think more highly of us than that.
For what?
The people who listen at walls. Really? Oh.
Go on.
What was the air full of flying sauce boats?
No, go on, George.
Which you made it a bit obvious, you said so yourself.
It's all right, your ear isn't red, is it? Yes, it is a bit. Never mind, they'll just think someone's talking about you.
But what shall I say?
Well, just ask them round for a drink. We owe them one anyway, and perhaps they'd like to come out for supper with us.
Right. It'll have to be Dutch.
It's all right.
You sure?
Meanie.
Funny, I'm not made of money, you know. Yes? Oh, hello, George. Hello, Peter. We wondered if you and Nora would like to come across and have a drink with us.
Drink?
It's rather last moment, I'm afraid.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry, old man. It's just that I've got a bit of a headache. Yes, we'd love to. Now?
Yeah, well, don't change or anything. I mean, it's only us. Just a short session. We're going out to dinner, as a matter of fact. No, unless you'd like to join us, would you?
Oh.
I mean, at a new Italian place.
Oh, George, you'll never know how much I appreciate the invitation.
Oh, good. Dutch, of course.
What?
At the Italian place.
Oh, of course, yes. No, my appreciation was a little more deep-rooted than the financial level.
Oh, good. Well, give Nora a yell.
Right, yell? Yes. Right, okay.
But, don't be long.
Right on, boy, yes.
You're going to wear that ear out, you know.
I'm glad we asked them, aren't you, darling? Peter sounded so grateful.
Well, let's hope we've got something for you to be grateful for. What's the drink situation?
Not too happy.
Blimey, you can say that again, oh dear. Look, I put lots of ice in the glasses. That always makes it look a bit more, doesn't it?
Meanie.
Really? After my good Samaritan?
No, darling, you're lovely. Does it make you feel good to think you've helped someone?
What's the trouble now?
She's bawling him out for accepting your invitation.
My invitation? You suggested it, and I'll thank you to tell her that if she comes round here with an armful of crockery.
Shh. It stopped again.
I shouldn't think so for one moment, darling. Probably just reached the staccato stage, you know, from different rooms. It's a short burst every few minutes.
Nonsense. Never been a row yet that was worth missing someone else's drink for.
True.
You see?
All right, darling, you do the ice.
Darling,
Yes.
be extra affectionate with each other. Set them a good example.
OK, I'll force myself. Ah!
Oh, Nora's not feeling very well. She's got a bit of a headache.
You both got headaches?
Yes, it's the weather. Muggy. Yes, she said to say sorry.
Oh, we're sorry too, old man. What a shame. Are you sure she won't come?
Well, I don't think so, old man, unless, of course, you'd like to try persuading her.
No. I mean, if she's ill, that's it. Sit down, old man. I'll get some glasses.
Here's the ice, darling.
Nora's not feeling well, darling.
No, she's got a headache.
She's got a headache.
What do you have, Peter?
What have you got?
Scotch.
Oh, well, I'll plump for that then.
Right, glasses, darling. Well, I'm sorry about Nora.
Yes.
We were both hoping you might come out to dinner with us.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you told me, didn't you?
Yes, of course I did. Yes, what I'm thinking about. Oh.
Sorry about Nora, Peter.
Yeah, darling, I just said that, darling.
Oh, did you?
Yes.
We were thinking that you'd both like perhaps
Yes,
to come
darling,
out...
I just told him that, darling.
Oh, did you?
Yes.
Water, Peter?
Any soda?
No.
Water.
Right. Oh, so cheer us up. There we are, old man. One large one.
Thanks, old man.
Coming up. Oh, sorry, darling.
Thank you, darling.
Well, cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Huh?
Well, how's everything, Peter?
Fine, fine.
Good, that's the idea.
How are things with you?
Mustn't grumble, you know.
Good.
Yeah.
How's Nora?
She's got a headache.
Well, I think a drop of scotch would do her good.
Okay, I wouldn't do that if I was you. She's not in a very good mood.
I don't want to listen to a couple of men all night.
Oh, yeah. Amazing creatures, aren't they? The whiskey all right?
Fine, yes, fine.
Oh, good. I didn't drown it, did I?
No.
Fine. You know you're all right. It is a bit muggy tonight, isn't it?
George, Nora and I had a party tonight.
Really?
Was it obvious?
Good Lord, no.
Oh, well, I'm glad. That's why she wouldn't come, you see. I'm in the doghouse. You know what I mean?
My dear fellow, do I not? I'm always been in him. Thank goodness for now. Kate and I just got over the hump.
Over the hump?
Perfect, old man. No rows. 2 weeks of perfect harmony. Absolutely swing the roof.
Oh, congratulations, old man.
But don't worry, old man. I mean, some people just have bigger humps than others.
Do they? We'll probably need Sherpas and oxygen to get over ours.
What caused it?
The Barney? I did. Don't we always? If only women weren't so ridiculously suspicious.
Well, don't get depressed about it, old man. Have another drink.
See, there's a new girl on the switchboard at the office. Fabulously sexy voice, but actually she's got the face like the back of a bus. Anyway, when Nora rang up the other day and heard all this sex being breathed down the phone, she obviously visualized something like Jane Mansfield and Helen of Troy rolled into one, and immediately concluded that my virtue was in danger. Anyway, when I got home, she asked me about the girl. Not directly. You know, the way women do. They sort of lead the conversation around to it. Hear their brains clicking over like a fruit machine. Anyway, I couldn't resist it. I said, "That's the new sex bomb," I said. Something like that. Anyway, Nora went a bit white. "Oh," she said, "she's pretty, is she?" I said, "Fabulous, fabulous." Anyway, you see, the point is this, that the girl's very interested in trinkets, you know, gold charms and all that jazz. She's got to do something to improve herself. Anyway, I told her about that little antique shop near the King's Head. You know, I took you there once, didn't I? Yes. Well, tonight she came with me on the tube, and I showed her it.
You're not trying to tell me that Nora saw...
Yeah, there she was, just coming out of the cleaners. But this is the ridiculous part about it, George. She could see the girl looked like the back of a bus. It was obvious I'd only been joking. But she accuses me of lying about the girl. Why? You know, there must be something behind it.
Aren't they incredible?
I told her not to be so stupidly suspicious. Anyway, I got the silent treatment all the way home. When we got in, she threw a sauce boat at me. Well, it caught me here, huh?
Well, that's very bad luck, you know. They usually said rotten shots.
We've been married 3 years, old man. She's put in a bit of practice.
Why can't they trust us?
It's incredible, isn't it? I mean, they grumble at us for getting into bed at night and dropping off without saying good night to them properly. During the day, they think we're raving sex maniacs.
The long and the short of it is, old man, you just can't win.
No. Most you can hope for is a sort of armed truce.
Yes, indeed, yes. They're a long time, aren't they? I said, do you think Nora was telling Kate about your row?
What? A loose face in front of her own sex?
Oh, too true. It's funny, isn't it? They say women can't keep a secret, but if there's anything that might make them look a bit silly, they can build Fort Knox around it.
Here she is.
Ah.
She just wanted to be asked officially. Oh, that's my chair, Nora. I'm afraid you'll have to sit next to your husband.
Scotch and water, all right, Nora? Nora?
Oh, yes, thank you, George.
Haven't we got some crisps, darling?
Have we, darling?
I'm sure we have.
It's going to help her look for the crisps.
Give them a chance to make up.
Do you think they will?
Of course they will. Nora wouldn't have come otherwise. I told you, darling, the moment always arrives when you run out of astringent phrases.
And sauce boats. How long do you think we should take looking for these non-existent crisps?
Oh, give them another minute. Well, I wish there'd been good Samaritans like us around when we used to have our rows.
By the way, did Nora mention they'd had one?
Good heavens, of course not. Why, Peter didn't, did he?
What? No. We were just chatting, about Fort Knox, actually.
You seemed to have worked the oracle. He was laughing when I came in.
Yeah. You and I ought to go into the marriage gardens business.
I never said that!
Haven't got a crisp at the place, I'm afraid.
Sorry.
Nora, you haven't got your drink. Scotch and water. Now, you sure it's all right? Hope so, because if it isn't, you'll just have to have water.
Sorry about the crisps, darling. My fault.
My fault, darling.
No, darling. I thought we had some.
We did. I finished them.
Did you, darling?
I'm sorry, darling. Well, here's your drink. All right. Well, here's success to temperance.
What? Oh, yeah, cheers, old man.
Cheers.
How about some music?
Yes, he's suddenly started buying records. Some of it's quite modern stuff, too. Isn't it incredible he used to be such a square? Now he's a... Darling, what's the opposite of square?
What, darling?
What are you?
Just a minute, just a minute. You've got to listen to this. It's going straight to the top. This is really fabulous.
We didn't kiss when we said goodbye forever, 'cause we said goodbye on the phone.
Sorry.
Are you trying to drive us apart?
Nora, what do you mean?
My dear, Peter and I have the row of our lives tonight.
No. Yes.
Well, didn't you guess?
No.
Well, we noticed a slight atmosphere.
Yes.
Well, I suddenly wondered whether Peter had told you.
No.
No. No.
Well, anyway, we don't want to talk about it because it was a silly row and it's all over now. Isn't it, darling?
Yes, well, if you say so, darling.
Don't say it like that. They'll think I started it.
Why don't you both come out to dinner with us now?
At the new Italian place. It's not far.
Oh, we'd love to, wouldn't we, darling?
I'll book for 2 more then. Dutch, of course.
I thought you said it was Italian.
Extraordinary, I don't know. They powdered their noses just before we left. How could they possibly get shiny again on a 10-minute walk?
Well, it's a nice place.
Not bad, it's a nice atmosphere. I like that place to have a bit of atmosphere, you know. Oh, we'll wait for the ladies, thank you.
Si, signor?
Yes, useful place to know, Peter, when you're having any night you're having trouble getting over the old hump. Kind of Chianti and the old squeeze box works wonders.
Yeah, there's no need for that now, thanks to you.
Oh, you're an idiot.
No, honestly, George, you helped me settle one of the worst rows we've ever had. I was really thinking of walking out and giving him something to be jealous about.
Shouldn't they realise they don't need to be so ridiculously suspicious?
Yeah, I know. You just try and tell them. I mean, I said tonight, good Lord, darling, I saw Kate with a man the other day. I didn't immediately leap to the conclusion that George's marriage was crumbling. We'll run over ahead. Might as well save his breath. Where are those women? I'm starving.
Peter? When did you see Kate?
What?
With the man?
Oh, a few days ago in Holborn.
Holborn?
Yeah, right.
Well, nothing, I just wondered.
Well, I was trying to make anything out of it. No, quite the reverse. I was just trying to indicate to Nora, you know, that things aren't always what they seem. Do you think we could get some of those stick things to nibble?
What did he look like?
Oh, I can't remember. All these Italian waiters look alike, don't they?
The man.
Oh, with Kate! Hey, look here, old man, I haven't spoken out of turn, have I?
No, of course not, no.
No, well, I mean, you know, I've seen that you and Kate have been very happy lately. I knew nothing was wrong.
Yes, she has been happy lately, hasn't she?
Yeah, and, like you said tonight, you know, you were over your hump.
What did he look like?
Oh, good Lord, I can't remember. I mean, well, distinguished looking, you know, grey hair and well-dressed. Yeah, not a bit like you, George, on that. Wouldn't have been Kate's type at all. No, there wasn't anything suspicious about it, I can promise you. I mean, she was smiling all over the shop. I shall never understand why such tiny noses require such a lot of powdering.
And how long do you take in the bathroom every morning?
Good for you, Nora, and it's not as if they cleaned up afterwards. There's always a tide mark. Never mind, darling. All that bending and scrubbing keeps my hips down.
Oh, shall we order? How about a cocktail? Give us strength to wrestle with the spaghetti.
You can't have a cocktail after whiskey, darling.
Oh, darling, I have depths you wot not of, and those depths are half empty. Okay.
Are you having one, darling?
What?
A cocktail?
No, thank you.
Oh, come on, darling. I won't say anything if you fall over in the bedroom again.
I don't want one, thank you.
Yeah. All right, we'll skip the cocktail. Bring us a bottle of this, will you? And we'll order when you get back.
Si, senor.
Darling, you feeling all right?
No, but don't let it worry you.
Now, what's it going to be? Spaghetti bolognese?
What do you mean?
Spaghetti Milanese?
Have you got one of your tummy things?
Look, Kate, I think I ought to explain.
Peter, I'd rather you didn't say anything if you don't mind. I'd rather it came from the person it ought to have come from.
George, this is ridiculous. Now, what's the matter?
Oh, isn't it a sweet little place, darling? You really must come again.
Yes, we've always wondered what it was like, haven't we?
Yes.
You're killing the evening. Stone dead.
It doesn't look anything from the outside, does it?
No, but they often don't, do they, darling?
George.
Who was that man Peter saw you with this week?
In Holborn?
Yes, in Holborn.
Oh, darling.
Who was he?
Mr. Reynolds.
I thought so.
What do you mean?
You always had a thing about your old boss, didn't you?
Of course I did.
You told me when we first met, everybody in the office had a crush on Mr. Reynolds.
Yeah, but the menu, Kate.
George.
George?
You didn't tell me you'd been seeing him, did you?
Four spaghettis.
Bolognese? Milanese?
Yes.
Why didn't you tell me?
George, let's leave this till we get home, shall we?
What makes you think I'm going to go home?
Please, George.
What makes you think I even think of it as home?
I'm not going on with this ridiculous argument.
No, I'm sure you're not. You'd rather keep quiet about it, just as you did about Mr. Reynolds. Well, thank heaven Peter saw you, that's all.
You started all this.
No, What a wonderful sight it must have been. I'd love to have been there. I wish I had been. How romantic. Walking round High Holborn, hand in hand, smiling all over the shop.
Only you listen.
I was quite ready to listen, Kate, the moment you got back from High Holborn, but now I'm very sorry. I'm afraid it's a little too late.
I'm sorry, Kate, it's my fault.
Yes, it is, but we'll discuss that later.
Oh, I'm afraid we only need 3 now.
Oh, mamma mia.
Thank you, George.
I was trying to get a job, you see, make us some more money, and I didn't want to tell George in case he took it the wrong way. You know, he's terribly sensitive, poor darling, and he does work hard. It's just that everybody else gets promoted except him. He's not the tycoon type, and so I didn't want to say anything until I could present him with a fait accompli. Anyway, I'd been around the agencies, and it was so depressing, like starting from the beginning again, because, of course, it had to be part-time. I mean, I've got to have time for doing the flat and shopping. So I went back to see my old boss. There was never anything between us, of course. Well, no more than 2 people working in the same office every day. Last I heard, he thinks he might have got me something, and it was just one tiny snag I may hear tomorrow.
Well, then it'll be all right, won't it, dear?
Kate, believe me, I wouldn't have said a word. It's just that when George and I were discussing our row, you know, when you went to get Nora,
You said you didn't tell him about our
No, well, not exactly.
I'm asking you. You said quite clearly you hadn't told me about our row.
Yeah, just Hello? No, she isn't. Who wants to speak to her? Yes, well, I think it does matter. Is that Mr. Reynolds? Well, it's very funny you should have rung, Mr. Reynolds, because I was just thinking of coming round and knocking your block off. Now, you listen to me, you aging Romeo. I happen to be married to your ex-secretary, so you can damn well cross her off your availability list. Now, have you got that, Reynolds? You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Skulking round Holborn with a girl young enough to be a great-granddaughter. What? What? No, I'm doing the talking, Reynolds. And if ever I hear that you as much as What? Oh, no, don't you try and smooth talk me, Reynolds. I'm not a complete idiot, you know. There's no green there, is there? What? What? But she never told. What? That's very kind of you, Mr. Well, of course, I apologize, sir. It's just that she never... Yes, I will. But thank you very much for trying, Mr. Reynolds. Goodbye, sir. Blimey. Hello, I wonder if I could speak to Mrs. Starling. It's Mr. Starling here. I booked a table for 4 earlier. Well, no, I booked a table for 2 first, and then for 4. And Mrs. Starling's sitting at a table for 3. Yes. Well, I can't remember now. Let me see. Was it a darkish dress with stripes? Yes, all the way down. And she had a string of beads on. And I... Oh, it's all right. Sorry, she's here. I didn't notice.
Well, they may not be cultured pearls, but I don't think I'd call them beads.
Darling.
I didn't expect to find you here.
Darling.
As you are, perhaps you'll let me explain.
You don't have to, Kate. You don't have to. Mr. Reynolds has just been on the phone. Kate, please forgive me.
You didn't ring him.
No, he rang me. Well, he rang you, but he got me.
I was just trying to help out, darling. We can live perfectly well on what you earn. It's just, you know, the odd extra.
Yeah, I know. Like a new coat and a decent hairdo and a string of real beads.
Darling, don't be silly.
You didn't get it, I'm afraid.
Job? Oh, well, he said I mightn't.
Well, you had to be prepared to be away the odd night, and apparently you weren't prepared.
Well, darling, I couldn't leave you here, could I, all on your own? Oh, not because I don't trust you, darling.
Oh, darling, don't start that again. I bawled him out good and proper tonight, you know.
Mr. Reynolds.
I called him an aging Romeo, and I said I'd knock his block off. I'm sorry, darling, but I didn't know. I really went for him, you know.
Poor old Bill. Well, I didn't have any spaghetti tonight, neither did you, so perhaps we'd better see what we can find in the tin. Would Spanish rice do? No, it's hardly enough for 2, is it? I could put some braised kidneys on top of it.
Bill?
Yes, darling, Darling, you're rowing about us. Oh!